Hello, is John available?
Hi, this is John. How
Hi,
can I help?
John. This is Tony, Business Checkup. We've exchanged a couple emails about doing some partnering and also looking at different products that I offer my clients out here in Colorado Springs in the marketing advertising world. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Tony.
Great.
You caught me.
Hey,
Yeah.
my parents used to live down in Tucson, just right down south of Tucson. I used to come down there all the time for the Rockies training, and I used to love it. Kind of bummed that they moved to Phoenix, moved the spring training to Phoenix because I don't get to go to Tucson anymore.
Well, you're not missing much. Except for the ball.
I can tell you're a baseball fan there, John. Anyway, hey, well, I appreciate you taking this, 5 to 10 minutes and letting me do a quick presentation. I do presentations all across the United States in a couple different states right now, and even in here locally, I do them using share screen. The reason why I do that is if you have to drive to somebody's office, that's a half hour, then you got an hour meeting with them and a half hour driving back. Well, it's 2 hours out of your day versus, we can do this in 5 to 10 minutes. So I greatly appreciate you taking the time today and taking a look at some of the stuff that I have to offer.
Great. Okay.
One of the things that I do is our main product is called Market Pro. And I probably shouldn't say it, but I say it's like turning on your McDonald's light. A lot of small businesses, John, they get into business, they buy the store, they get the product, they get the employees, they get everything. And I kind of say like a McDonald's. Imagine if you drove up to McDonald's and the light wasn't on, and the people in there had all the burgers going and fries going and everything, but there's no customers. And then I drive up and say, John, did you know your light above your McDonald's light above your store's not on? Nobody knows that you're in business. And everybody knows if there's McDonald's, kids can see it from miles away, and they know that means French fries. So we want to help people turn on their business spotlight, their business light, so people can find them out on the web. And so I'm going to go over this real quick. I did I do a little scan. I check about 50 different directories out there. Here's the truth, John. There's hundreds of thousands of directories out there. They come and go. We try to do the main ones. Some of them, like Info Group, they do like 500 directories themselves plus backlinks and that kind of stuff. So you could be out there on hundreds and hundreds of directories. But here's just some of the main ones. Say there's something going on with your Google. They have a different name which could be easily fixed. White pages, and then they're not even found in a couple of these. One of them looks like maybe you have a main number too, but I'm not going to go over this too long. You probably know that there's a lot of directories out there that you're not on, that you need to be on, and so we just try to help you get on there and make sure we clean up all the information out there, so it's the same information everywhere there is. So anyway, I'll email this over to you, just you can see, but a lot of it is just that you're not found, and this is just I just looked at like 50 of them. I didn't even look at all of them, and so we can definitely help you turn on your McDonald's light. I mean, local pages and city scores are very important that you're on. Super pages, you've probably heard of that, and 411. So we try to get you on all those. And what I do is I come in here, and everything I'm going to show you is on my website, businesscheckup.info. Okay, so if you don't think that you need to know everything, you can go back on that. I don't know all the answers, John, but I have a great partner, and if I don't know, I'll go get them and get back to you in a day or two with the answer, because I don't know all the answers. But what I do know is that when I put you on tons of different directories, and I'm just going to show you, we list some of them on our website, and a lot of people go out there and they get on like Yelp or Dexnose. Here's Yellow Pages. YP is Yelp stuff. Dexnose is a lot of people get on there, and these guys are paying $200 to $275 a month to be on one directory, and we put you on tons of directories, maps, GPSs, everywhere. We put you on like 10 different maps. We put you on all the search engines. We want people to find you. And doing that, we do something like this. We come in here, and I'm going to show you. You get a couple different dashboards when we do this. Okay? the first dashboard is here. So I have a master one, but I'll show you stuff. So I'm going to show you this Associates and OBGYN. They're my newest clients. I'll just show you what I did for them. But anyway, so we make you a what's called a web card, and basically we can update this at any time. We put as much information. The more information that we put out there, the better it helps you in your SEO rankings and moves you up higher into page one. The more data we can give them, will help with your rankings. Everything we do links back to your website. So when somebody's clicking on your stuff and clicks on your websites, it helps you boost you up higher into page one. So we do this. We put a map. What do you do? Description, your hours of operation, what kind of payment methods you do. You give us some pictures. Got your staff there, and we can update this stuff. And then it comes down here, and we talk about services, which I'll show you in a second. And to me, this is the most important page. Keywords. And if you can see how many keywords he gives me. This is keywords when you actually go out on the directories and somebody's in a directory looking for those words, it brings them up for you. So again, this is in directories, not on like SEO pay-per-click. And I'm going to show you why it's so important to be on numerous directories. Tech is one of the highest competitive industries on the web out there. And you'll look, here's that pay-per-click ad, and it'll be gone in a second. Somebody will click on it and be gone. But CPR Cell Phone Repair is my client. If you notice, I have them number one on page one on the maps. There's their mobile website, okay? There's their competitors, boom, 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 okay? There's their Yelp review, okay? There's their actual website. There's their Yellow Pages, their Angelus. Usually I have, so that's 7 times, I usually have their Facebook on page one. And here it is right here. So when those ads pop up, in a little bit we came back, their Facebook would be on page one. And I'll get to that later because I do all my clients' postings and help them promote them to each other. But usually I have them 6 to 7 times on page one. And again, we're not going to let them go anywhere. The more times people click on, the ad's gone now, click on these directories, the more times you click on this Yelp review, it's only going to push them higher. These are not pay-per-click. So it's so important. On an average, in Colorado Springs, and every city's different. So I'm just going to tell you Colorado Springs. I don't blow smoke. I just tell you how it is, John. In Colorado Springs, my clients average 2 to 3 times on page one, and usually in the top 3 or 4 on maps after 1 year, because of all these directories. Because of every time somebody goes on these and clicks on this, it takes them. It's like clicking on your website. So let's go back to this. After we make your web card, then we do something else. We can come in here and we can add stuff like if you're a restaurant, we can do menus, we can do products and services. So here's the products and services, and I'll show you Associates and OBGYN. I can put it in there, and you'll see all these different products, and we can put all the products that you do and you offer. That's very important. A lot of people, we do it here. We also do it on your Facebook page. A lot of people don't know that you can do the same thing and add that to your Facebook page. This is my newest client, and they didn't know that you could do that. And they actually pay somebody to do their Facebook postings $300 a month, and she'd never updated any of the stuff. I had to go in there and update everything in here. But if you notice, I went in there and added all their services, everything under their service tab on Facebook. So I do all that. I do, update their maps. I update everything on their Facebook about them, parking lot, all that stuff, what kind of payment. So I almost make their Facebook identical to all their directories. So let's go back here. And then bios, if you have bios of staff in your office, again, I can come in here and go, okay, here's Associates and OBGYN, and there's Dr. Jack Tubbs, and there's his people, and look how I can put, I think, 5,000 characters in here, so you can see how much information I can give about each person. And then there's his whole staff, so I put that in there. So let's go over here and look at some of the directories. And I'm sorry, John, I talk fast. I'm quick because I want to, present as much as I can.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions up to this point?
Yeah, I had one, and if you go back to that tab on the actual Google search, because you'd showed So it's a tab. Yeah, that one. And down below, it had yellowpages.com. So what happens if, let's say somebody's old school, they go to yellowpages.com. So if you click on that, what happens?
So if they click on this stuff, usually it'll bring up right there. If you look at it, it brings up CPR cell phone repair right there, number one.
Awesome. Okay.
So
I see.
This is why, and you can notice they have a better view there, and I'll get to that. But they still have an A+ rating. People never happy. So that's again, that's just doing great stuff by clicking on that ad. Was that your only question up to this point?
Yeah. So basically, what happens is that a link then, let's say you put my stuff into Yellow Pages, so when they actually go to Yellow Pages on a Google search, let's say they go to the link to Yellow Pages, and that's where they would see that page listing.
Correct. And you notice that's under the word cell phone repair shops near Colorado. That's what they're coming up right there.
Okay, I see. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so let's go back to this little tab. And this is a tab I like, and so I'm going to come down here. And one of the things I didn't get to show you is one of the best features that we have is every week we can run an ad for you. And there's a certain amount of characters you can have. But you can run an ad here, and this one of their featured ad is we do sculpture, smart lipo, and liposuction. I also so this message we can update. And I can't remember how many characters. There's not many. There's maybe 5 or 6 more characters. So it's a short ad that we can update every week. I also want you to remember, just quickly look at all these different keywords right here that I put in here, okay? Now, when we actually go to some of these directories, I'm going to show you how that works. It's a beautiful thing. So most marketing and advertising is you pay somebody money and you wonder for the rest of the time if even they did their job, if it's even working. Here, we let you go look at like 100 different directories, and you can actually go here to View Listing. And you click on View Listing, and look at that. We do sculpture and smart lipo and liposuction. That's that ad. I can update that special offer once a week. And when I update it, almost instantly, every directory, everything we've done is updated too, just to let you know. Now I want you to come down and look at this. Look at all the keywords. Those keywords that you gave me, John, to bring up your clients in this directory. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it is.
And if you ever need a Mona Lisa touch, I have a doctor for you.
Whatever that is.
All right, so let's go back. So that's pretty cool. I can run ads for you. They can be updated. I can put all the keywords in for you. There's unlimited keywords. Okay, John? So here's actually the tab that all my clients, called Reviews. You click on this, and again, John, I have the master one, so therefore you're going to see a bunch of my clients. But you look on here, and we got a review. Somebody reviewed it. Ooh, one of my apartment things. Usually they're checking today 141 different sites. Usually it's around 100 to 135, but that's the most I've ever seen that we check is 141. But it shows where the site was, and then who did the review. And the reason why this is so important, John, is most guys want to bury their head when it comes to reviews. Okay, which you shouldn't be. Women are very good about it. They want to address it, and stuff like that. But guys take it personally, and then they also want to bury their head. If it's a bad review, John, we want to address it and say, hey, I'm sorry you're overpopulated. Address this, right? They're overpopulated. It's what apartments are, okay? Google says 80% of all reviews are written by ex-employees or your competitors. So you can't take them personally, but you do want to address them. So like Antero's Apartments should come back and go, hey, John, I'm Tony. I'm the manager of Antero Apartments. I'm sorry that, the washers smell like that. Maybe we can work on some stuff. Come in and see me. Let's sit down and fix this together. If it's a great review, a good review instead of a bad review, we definitely want to address that. Say, John, thank you very much. We appreciate you liking staying here at Antero Apartments, and we always like to make our residents feel good. So we want to address the review, either way, especially on a bad one. So if somebody's reading that review, they see, okay, somebody posted a bad review, but then the owner or whatever, the manager came out and tried to fix it. That's a company I'd like to take my business to. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. So the other thing is, so we monitor all your reviews. So this would be your dashboard, just have your reviews in there. And then this one is the other one, is post reviews. And anything that's said on the web, tweet, anything that's out there, Facebook tweet, anybody posts anything out there, you look at that. There's that ad, it updates and puts it in here. And the reason why this is important is somebody's saying something about your company out there, you or your company. Don't you guys want to know about that? That'd kind of be good to know, right? So It tells like the white pages, let's see. Looks like white pages updated. There's Facebook. They wrote an article, put in Facebook. So whatever's out there, we put in this little tab. It's kind of like a catch all tab right here. There's somebody posting a picture on Facebook, goes in here. So that's our catch all tab is this one. And here's the tab that I like. It's called Analytics. And again, I'm not going to spend so much time in this. And again, I'm throwing a lot of information at you. But this comes in here, and it will show how many people were searching on those directories and stuff, and searching out there for those keywords and stuff. And you can track, and we can find out, where the most people were searching the most. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so every time. Let's get back to this. So every time somebody makes a phone call off of one of these directories, okay, that comes in here and makes a phone call, we put a tracking phone number on there. So anytime somebody calls, that phone number, that's a tracking phone number. Somebody calls off these directories, we put a tracking phone number. It rings straight through to your phone. You would never know, but here it is. So you get a second dashboard. And this dashboard shows who called, and usually I have the master. It usually shows their name. Angela Ramirez called the apartments, and you actually get to listen to the phone call. Now, I don't know. It might be a good or bad. I don't know. Let's see here.
Okay.
Hello. Thank you for calling Antero Apartment Homes, a real source management company. Luxury living at its finest. Para continuar en español, oprime el ocho. Our office is closed.
So they're closed, but
okay,
you get to do that. And so yours would just say yours, and then you get to come in here and click on it. One of them that does really, really well for us is anything in the medical field do very, very, very well for our customers. And I'll just show you. This is the Oral Surgery Center. So you can come there and see how many people called you today, this week, this month, this year. So this guy in the last 30 days has gotten 139 calls. Now, Let me be clear. I'm not going to blow smoke, Steve. That is not normal. The normal is 35 to 75 extra calls a month. But let me ask you something. Would your business benefit from extra 35, 70, 50, 75, maybe 100 extra calls a month? Because understand, the only calls that come into here are ones that come off my ads, off of my directories, off of my stuff that Business Checkup does. If somebody calls off your website, somebody calls off a business card, somebody calls off anything else that you have been doing, a billboard, radio, TV, anything else, it doesn't come off there. And here's this. Most marketing advertising agencies want to sell you your own current customers. Okay? We don't. So if somebody knows your number and your name, they can, and should have it, they should be able just to call Request Oral Surgery Center. But if somebody doesn't know and they're looking at those keywords and they pull up and they click and they call off one of our ads, this is going to capture it. Now, do we get some previous clients, customers? Absolutely, we do that too. But we do also bring in new customers. Okay?
Okay.
So you get two tracking dashboards. You get the market, the reputation management, track all your reviews, that kind of stuff. And I'm going to show you one last thing. If you have somebody that is making a bunch of bad reviews out there on you and it really comes after you, we actually have another product that we can do, and it's called damage control. And what that is we can come in here and we can actually remove, push down, and get rid of bad reviews out there. Now, it costs money. It's not free. But my partner, Steve, and I, he actually wrote the article and stuff, were just featured a year ago in the biggest insurance magazine out there. It's called insurancenews.net magazine. And he wrote an article. It's like how to guard your online reputation. And it talks about what we can do. And we've got a lot of business out of this. And there's our ugly mugs right there. Don't want to scare you. But the reason I show you this, John, is know that somebody is in your corner. If somebody comes after you, know that you have options and you have somebody in your corner ready to go to bat for you. And again, this is another product. It's costs more money, but know that it's a lot of companies are out there getting blasted and they don't think there's anything they can do about it. Know that you can, that we can take care of business for you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And so right now we're actually doing a thing where I know I've got to tell you. So Market Pro is $3,500 for the first year. Okay? You have to pay that up front because we pay all the directories and all that kind of stuff. Okay? So it's Market Pro is $3,500 for the first year. You're done. However, in January, we're doing a special right now that we're taking $500 off, so it's down to $3,000. Then year 2 on, it drops down to $2,000 a year. So remember when I told you that most people are paying Dext, and I think you mentioned to me that you were paying YP $265 a month, right? Well, $265 a month for one directory is more than you would pay for all of our directories, the 2 dashboards, be able to run ads on there, be able to monitor your reputation out there, all that stuff. So we would said for what you're paying for one, just for YP, right here you're paying for Yellow Pages or YP, you would get all this for the same amount of money. And then next year it actually drops down to $2,000, so it's even cheaper. And right now, it's $3,000. I apologize. We have 2 different specials. You can either take $500 off from $35 down to $3,000, or we can give you a month of free Google Mobile. Now, Steve, John, have you ever heard? Do you know the difference between Google Mobile SEM, which is on your smartphones, and desktop SEO? Do you know the difference between those two?
I do not.
Okay, so most people don't, so don't worry about it. So one of the things that we do is we can put you in the top 3 rotation. And here's our newest client that my partner Steve just did, the OBGYN. And here's the actual ad that he's running. And we make a dead ad. On Google Mobile, we can put you in the top 3 rotation. And again, Steve, John, this is Colorado Springs. My clients average the number 1.1 position. I don't know if I could promise that in Denver. You can't promise anything, but how that would be in Denver or LA or the bigger cities. But in Colorado Springs, we average the number 1.1 position. Okay? We also have a click to call. Okay? Now, the reason why it's so important is we only have on Google Mobile is a different bird than anything else. Most people know about desktop pay-per-clicks. This is Google SEM mobile. We don't want them to go to your website, so we make a mobile website with the phone number on there. Actually, this right here, I believe now, they can't even get there. All they can do is click to call. They can't click for address. They can't click and go be a looky-loo on your website. All they can do is click to call. Beautiful thing is you're only up during working hours. As you know, John, you probably get frustrated when you make a call and you get a voicemail. You're like, okay, next, right?
Yeah.
Here, it wouldn't. You're only up during working hours. And listen, I'm kind of like a babysitter. I'm in here and I'm looking, okay, did somebody answer? Did these guys answer? No. 45 seconds? Probably not. Price Chiropractic. Look at this. This guy called 27 seconds, hung up, turned around, called right back. So I'm in here kind of monitoring, making sure that did somebody actually answer the phone, And they're good, okay? And I'll show you why that's so important to have that click to call, because most businesses don't understand how to do that. And I'll show you the difference of what my partner Steve does versus okay, so here's an actual off my smartphone, cell phone in pair of Colorado Springs. You notice we have number 1 on maps. Here's their ad, best local merchants. Anytime, John, you see best local merchants out there, you're like, I know those guys. That's Tony, business checkup, okay? This is it. But I want you to know, Batteries Plus is just as big across the United States as CPR. Okay, now let's see. They're a national campaign and locally paying probably 4 times what my client's paying me. Look at that. What do you see missing from their pay-per-click ad and my? Exactly. So as a consumer, which one would you probably call?
Well, if I'm on a cell phone, it'd be easier to push a button that says call, wouldn't it?
Exactly. And then you see we're number 1 on maps too. So you see this and your eyes see this, you're going to hit the click to call. So we kind of have unfair advantage. My partner does a very, very good job of getting us up in the top, 3 rotation, usually number 1, keeps us up there during working hours. And that's why I wanted to show you the difference. So that's Google Mobile. When somebody looks on their phone and Google something, which you probably use your phone to Google stuff all the time too, right, John?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. So, and they said that Google says that people are like 82% more are going to take a call to action off their phones versus desktop. People are looky-loos off their desktop computer. They'll come here and look at that, and then they'll never make a decision and go do something else. Versus off of mobile, people are more inclined to actually make a decision, come visit you, call you, or come try to buy something. So that's why we love mobile. So again, this month, in the month of January, we're either offering $500 off or a free month of Google Mobile. And then year 2, and again, if you like Google Mobile and you see that it brings a lot for your business, and listen, Steve and I have been doing this a long time, my partner, and we know what industries work really well on mobile and which don't. So after a month, we'll be able to go in here and log in here and go, okay, how many calls have I gotten over the last 30 days? Should I renew it? And Google Mobile it starts at $700 a month. So they've gotten 29 calls as a veterinarian off of Google Mobile. So now we can go to them and it's like, does $700 a month warrant you guys keeping up Google Mobile? Some do. We have about a 50%. Some keep it, some don't. Like I said, we know which ones do very well. Doctors, anything in the medical field, restaurants, taxi cabs, auto mechanics. We know which ones do. Ones that don't do really well with Google Mobile, mortgage, insurance, realtors. So, we've narrowed it down. We've kind of perfected it. It's been like 7 years now. But so that's one thing I like to do is see if you'd be interested in starting doing Market Pro and either getting a discount on the price or getting the free month of Google Mobile. But I'd like to answer what kind of questions you had.
I'm feeling overwhelmed. And I'm thinking that because of my business, I don't see the Google Mobile being, a useful tool. So I would say I'd ask for the $500 off.
I would agree with you. I did Google Mobile for my own business for 6 months. I didn't get one call, so I actually agree with you. For marketing, advertising agencies, and website designs, mobile doesn't seem to work very well for that. So I agree with you.
It makes a lot of sense. The only question I guess I really have to ask, probably lots of people do, is there anything you can do better on the price?
I can take the $500 off. We're having a special in January to $500 off, drop it down to $3,000. And again, remember the second year it drops it down to $2,000. One of the biggest thing is you can stop that YP, at $275 a month and stop that right now, or the DEX, whichever one you were paying the $275 a month, because that's $3,300 a year just for one directory, and you're going to get.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, when you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense. So, I think I'm willing to just say yes. Let's bite the bullet, move forward. So, what do we do next?
So what I do is I send you out a link where you fill in all the information and send it to me. You can we'll ask you for pictures and logos and all your information when you open it up, what kind of credit card you take. Again, the more information is, the better, John. And it's all done online. Do it through a link. If there's something you want to add that doesn't, just email it to me. A lot of people email me, more stuff that they didn't include. And remember, we can always update this. If we can get 80% of the stuff out there going, great. And then if we can update it, like I said, every week or whenever you have new staff members or whatever you have, we can update that. And, start thinking about a weekly ad. Maybe, hey, $1,000 web design for only $750 this week or whatever. So start thinking of your weekly ad. That's very important.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Well, great. Well, I appreciate your time. Yes. And so all I need to do is, what credit card did you want to use? We take American Express, Visa, MasterCard. What's the best credit card that you want to use?
I would use a Visa today.
Okay. I'm ready for that number.
All right.